In 1802, the Nguyen dynasty successfully unified Vietnam, marking the beginning of a new empire. This period represents a critical case study in how a centralized state navigates extreme geopolitical pressure and the eventual loss of its sovereignty to European imperialism. The new empire was modeled as a centralized Confucian bureaucratic state. It emphasized a strict administrative hierarchy, classical education for its officials, and a system where the ruler held absolute moral authority over the unified territory and its people. Despite its structure, the model possessed inherent weaknesses. Its institutional rigidity hindered the state's ability to adapt quickly to emerging military technologies and the shifting diplomatic realities of the 19th century, leaving the dynasty vulnerable to modern external threats. Internal instability further drained state capacity. The court's aggressive drive for centralization often ignited fierce resistance from diverse regional communities. These persistent internal conflicts created a fractured domestic landscape that made it difficult to present a unified front against foreign powers. Externally, pressure from European maritime empires intensified, with France emerging as the primary aggressor. French interventions were frequently justified by the pretext of protecting Catholic missionaries, an act the Nguyen court viewed as a direct challenge to its social order. This cultural clash led to a destructive cycle of repression and foreign coercion. As the Nguyen court attempted to maintain its traditional sovereignty, France used these religious tensions to justify military escalations, further destabilizing the Vietnamese administration and its local authority. A massive military technological gap soon became apparent. Vietnam's traditional defenses were increasingly outmatched by superior French naval power. This disparity allowed France to employ gunboat diplomacy, forcing the Vietnamese court to sign unequal treaties under the threat of total destruction. The 1858 French attack and the subsequent 1862 Treaty of Saigon marked a definitive turning point. This agreement converted military coercion into permanent territorial loss in the South, significantly undermining the court's legitimacy and signaling the beginning of the end for sovereignty. The loss of territory fractured the Vietnamese elite into competing factions. While some officials argued for continued armed resistance, others favored accommodation to preserve what remained of the state. This internal division weakened the monarchy's ability to lead a cohesive national defense. Popular resistance movements, most notably the Con Vuong or Aid the King movement, emerged to challenge the invaders. However, these grassroots efforts struggled to succeed against the superior logistics, modern firepower, and organized military strategy employed by the French colonial forces. France exploited ongoing internal disorder as a justification for deeper intervention. Through a series of treaties in the 1880s, Vietnam was officially established as a French protectorate, effectively ending its independence and placing its administration under the control of a foreign power. By 1900, the collapse was complete. Vietnam was administratively integrated into French Indochina, leaving the monarchy as a mere symbolic entity. This progressive collapse, driven by internal fragility and external force, set the stage for the nationalist struggles of the 20th century.